We start this session with a flexibility flow. The flexibility is a category of the mobility complex, where this is concentrating on the lengthening of the fascia tissue, and it's simply stretching. Yeah? We start with a long sit like this, and stretch forward like reaching with the spine should be as aligned as possible, and the stretching of the muscles, hamstrings, calf should come out of a forward flexion of the pelvis like this. Okay. After this one, we open the legs, push from the back, do the same, having an aligned spine and flexing the pelvis to get a stretch in the adductors. Of this we are working on integrating the mobility aspect, which means that the hip joint or the joint itself should get as much range of motion as possible. And to combine this with the flexibility issue, we trying to get from one position into a different position on the fringes of the joint. So very slowly initiate a rotation out of the center of gravity and the pelvis, and watch your legs going into or repositioning into a side bend sit. And in the side bend sit, we are getting forward like this and getting a stretch inside the outside hip part. So again, so you stretch like this. You can load with a reaching into this direction. You load the upper body more, and this gets more flexion into this hip part. Okay, and after this, you bring your legs a little bit closer, especially the back leg needs to be heel to butt. Then you support yourself here with the elbow, and then you reach overhead. Use your head and your eyes for observing for what your hand is reaching for, imaginary. And you get the stretch here in the front part when you activate the glute muscles. Okay, we do the same sequence of positions backwards. So firstly, you go down like this, staying for 30 seconds if you like. Opening into split like this, moving forward 30 seconds. Closing the leg like this, moving forward for 30 seconds. Opening the legs again like this, another 30 seconds if you like. Starting with the other side by rotating on the fringes of the joint, getting into a very open side bend sit, reaching into this direction. Staying here for 30 seconds. Closing the side bend sit even a bit more and reaching backwards like this. Getting a stretch into the hip flexor and frontal part of your abdominals. Okay, then you would come down like this again. You would open the bend like this again. You would close the bend like this again. You open them again as this again. You switch to this and to this. And what you can improvise is that you are, if you are a bit safer in the stretch, that you do the back part of the stretch like in this direction. And then you go into this direction. And then you don't have to close your, this is a bit of a break in the flow. You don't have to go like this. You always go from one side to the other side through an open long sit. Yeah, so the rotation comes from here directly here, getting forward, and then without the long leg bent together front, you get into side bend sit like this.